So I often have clients who want to move to Annapolis, Maryland, but they're a little unsure of what parts they should be looking in. Because the truth is, living in one part of Annapolis will give you a very different lifestyle, different culture, and a different experience compared to other parts of Annapolis. So today I'm going to break down kind of the 4 distinct parts of Annapolis, Maryland, go over the pros and cons of each, and help you decide on which one is the best fit for you and your family. Stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Malcolm Lawson. I'm the team leader at the Lawson Group at Keller Williams Select Realtors here in Annapolis, Maryland. And I've owned a home here in Annapolis for about 10 years now and have helped numerous clients buy and sell homes here, so I'm very familiar with Annapolis. So the first part of Annapolis I want to talk about is downtown Annapolis, and this is where many of my clients initially think that they want to move to. So there is a lot of benefits to living in downtown Annapolis. One, you're close to all the excitement and all the activities going on down there. There's often festivals and fairs and parades going on, and you're right there in the heart of all that action. You're also in walking distance of numerous restaurants and stores and other activities, and you have an opportunity to own one of the iconic downtown Annapolis homes, some dating back to the 1800s. Now there are some cons to living in downtown Annapolis, and the first one's going to be price. This is a pretty expensive area to live in. You can expect to see homes anywhere from $500,000 all the way up to $3 million. Since many of these homes are older, they're also going to be much smaller in size as well. You can expect to find a lot of older brick row homes. If you do find a detached home, they're usually on a pretty small lot, and it's very difficult to find a home with a garage. Many of the homes in this area are also pretty old. It's not very common to see new construction. One of the biggest downfalls is that it is a tourist destination. So on the weekends, especially in the summer months, you're going to be competing with traffic of tourists coming in and exploring the area. And this is especially true if there's any kind of big event going on. Recently we had a big fireworks show, and of course the streets were just packed full of cars. When the Navy cadets of the academy graduate, of course all of downtown is just packed with tourists and family members of the cadets. So if you choose to live down here, you have to kind of accept that it's going to be very difficult to drive a vehicle in and out of this area, and you're going to be competing with a lot of traffic, especially on the weekends during the summer months. So this brings me into the next area I want to talk about, and that is Eastport in Annapolis. So Eastport's another peninsula located right next to downtown Annapolis, and it offers a lot of similar benefits. So once again, in Eastport, you're close to all the activities and shops and restaurants, but you're not competing against all the tourist traffic. Tourists don't really have any real reason to drive over to Eastport. You can also easily take a water taxi from Eastport to downtown Annapolis. Another benefit to Eastport, it offers a little bit more of a wider variety of homes. So in Annapolis, you see a lot of much older homes, you see a lot of row homes. In Eastport, most of those homes have their own separate lots or detached homes, and you'll see more of a variety in the ages in Eastport as well. As far as negatives to Eastport is, it's still pretty pricey. Maybe a little bit more affordable, but not by much. You'll find homes anywhere from $400,000 all the way up to about $2 million in Eastport. Now, most of these homes are on detached lots, but most of them are still pretty small, and garages still are not that common in Eastport. But if you want to be close to all the excitement and fun of downtown Annapolis, but you don't want to compete with all the tourist traffic, Eastport may be a really good option for you. So the next part of Annapolis that I often recommend, I refer to as South River Annapolis. So this is on the other side of Annapolis. So downtown Annapolis sits on the Severn River. On the other side of Annapolis, you have the South River. So the real benefit to this part of Annapolis is that you can find larger homes and you can find larger lots of land. So if you're looking for a home with a little bit more privacy and a quiet neighborhood, this part of Annapolis may be a good option for you. And because of all the inlets on the South River, there is a lot of waterfront in this area. So if you're looking for a waterfront property, again, this South River Annapolis may be a good fit for you. And this part of Annapolis is only a 10-15 minute drive to get to downtown Annapolis where all the excitement is. Homes are still pretty pricey in this part of Annapolis, anywhere from $600,000 all the way up to $2 million. The only real downfall is that you can't really take a water taxi to downtown Annapolis. You'd have to go down the South River, around the peninsula, and then back up. So it's not really practical. So next let's talk about South Annapolis. So if you follow Forest Drive and you drive down that Annapolis Peninsula, that's the area I'm really talking about. And it's kind of a wide variety of style of homes here. Anywhere from a $300,000 home in a suburban neighborhood, all the way up to $3 million waterfront properties with views of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. So a big spectrum of different types of houses here. So one benefit though is that there's a lot of shopping. There's several different shopping centers with grocery stores and a lot of shopping's available to you. Wyatt Waters Park, which is a fantastic park here in Annapolis. That's also located in this area down Forest Drive. So one negative of this area is that there's really only one road, and that's Forest Drive, that kind of goes down this peninsula. And there are a lot of suburban neighborhoods in this area. During the morning time, you can expect to see a lot of traffic on that Forest Drive leaving this area, and then in the evening time, you expect to see a lot of traffic coming down that Forest Drive. And kind of the further down that peninsula you live, the more traffic you're going to have to put up with on this Forest Drive road. And once again, I wouldn't expect to find a large home with a big yard in this part of Annapolis unless you're willing to pay a little extra for that. So the next area I want to talk about is the Broadneck Peninsula, and this is on the other side of the Severn River. The Naval Academy actually owns a good bit of land on this peninsula as well. And really, I would want to break this up into everything above Route 50 and everything below Route 50, because there really is two distinct types of neighborhoods and homes in these areas. So south of Route 50 on the Broadneck Peninsula, you can expect to see homes anywhere from $600,000 to $2 million, and there's some really nice waterfront properties, once again with views of the Chesapeake Bay and the Bay Bridge. Homes are a little bit more spaced out here. You can find a little bit larger homes or bigger lots. There's a handful of farm fields and woods in this area, so things are just a little bit more spaced out, a little bit more calm, and tourists never really go to this area. Now the big con to living on the Broadneck Peninsula, and really kind of in Annapolis in general, is the Bay Bridge traffic. So when the Bay Bridge traffic backs up, a lot of times you can see people taking the back roads to try to skip around the traffic. So sometimes these back roads can get pretty congested on the Broadneck Peninsula. So next, let's talk about the Broadneck Peninsula north of Route 50. So I would consider this the suburbs of Annapolis. So a lot of suburban neighborhoods. Homes go from anywhere from $300,000 all the way up to about $1 million in this part of Annapolis. And up here, you can find slightly larger yards and slightly larger homes for the same price compared to other parts of Annapolis. Some other benefits is you have very easy access to Route 50 and very easy access to Route 2, so if commuting to work every day is kind of a priority for you, this may be a good location for you. And this is also where the Sandy Point State Park is located, so if you're into fishing or going to the beach, you know, that's a nice little perk for you. So the last tip I have for you to help figure out where you want to live in Annapolis is go to Facebook and look up the Annapolis Connect Facebook group. So it's a group that my wife and I run, so it's a great resource to ask some questions, get some other useful information about Annapolis, and feel free to go on there and ask other people where they chose to live in Annapolis and how they like it. So just go to Facebook and search for Annapolis Connect. So if you're planning on buying a home here soon, I've got an entire playlist of other videos I've done right over here full of tips and tricks about buying a home. And if you're thinking about buying a home here in Annapolis, Maryland, my team and I would love to have a conversation with you. I'll have a link below to our contact information. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you over in the next video.